What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Eric BR. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Theris. He's kind of had a name change recently. He's changed his name from Tigerboss to Theris, but we're going to continue calling him Tigerboss because you can't just change your name mid-tournament and expect that to stick. All right? That's the rule. If you want to sign up with a new name, you have to say, I am no longer this person and I am this person, and that's how it works. And then we'll call you Theris for the rest of your life if you like. No longer Tigerboss, but Tigerboss for this series. I don't know. You have to go through a registry type of thing. Everyone has to accept that it's a name change. It's a process. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Anyways, this is the playoffs. This is the Challengers League playoffs. I believe this is the quarterfinals. I believe it's the quarterfinals. I could be wrong. I think it's the quarterfinals. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Eric, one of the players who... I think Eric and Tigerboss lost to the same player. This is wild that this has actually happened. It's a complete coincidence. But Eric and Tigerboss in the qualifiers both lost to the same player in Mr. Boit in 5 series each apiece. So the level of Eric, Tigerboss, and Mr. Boit is around this point. It's like they're in margins of each other. And this makes me even more hype about this game because we already know that this series is going to be incredibly close. I'm excited to see what Eric's going to come up with here. I'm excited to see what Tigerboss is going to go for. Eric has got a lot of different tricks now with Zeus. He's no longer just a kind of one strategy Zeus main. He doesn't think anymore that the only way to play this matchup is to go for the Centaur straight away. Obviously, the Centaur are going to be a good way to play, but he definitely has a couple of other tricks in his bag to throw at Tigerboss through this series. And we'll see if he's going to actually go for that or if he's going to go for what he kind of believes is the straight meta, or if he's going to put some tricks in and try a whole bunch of different things. Tigerboss, on the other hand here, he's a player who... I don't know if this is like how to exactly say this, but he's hit his peak, or not necessarily his peak, but he's had his peak performance happened, and he hasn't been able to return to that peak performance. And what I mean by that is that Tigerboss, I believe he got 4th in an S tier tournament, which basically means you're the 4th best player in the world at that point for that tournament, right? You're the 4th best player in that tournament. Kind of that's what it means. So he's hit that peak, and he's yet to be able to get return to that peak here. He's been struggling to get that success in a tournament again. So he's been trying to find his revenge here and trying to get himself back into give himself an opportunity to prove himself yet again. And this is definitely that time to put the foot to the metal and figure it all out. As Eric now going to be advancing to the classical age through Hermes. So there is no surprises here. He's not going for the Athena. First game of this series, trying something a little bit standard here to kick things off. I like the building placement here. Temple, house, forest. Defending this forest beautifully. The forest curls around nicely. This is a really, really nice defensive location. And he's not finished. Putting another house over here. I really, really like this from Eric. This is going to be a really, really nice defensive position for him here in this game. As Eric's now in the center of the map with a handful of villagers on the zebra. Have a villager on this rhino, finishing the rest of that one off there. Prometheus is obviously already coming through for Tigerboss as the Theseus wanders in to start getting that early game damage done onto the Tigerboss citizen. As Tigerboss just says, "No worries, I'm just going to move back into my home base." Jump onto chickens or jump onto gold or jump onto wood or something else as military barracks, counter barracks going to be coming down. And the Jason does get that little bit of value. That citizen not gathering resources for, I guess it was something like 20 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds. ends up being a pretty big amount of loss here. As Tigerboss now comes through with his hero Oracle, converts that one. Just the one hero Oracle there as the Promethean offspring coming in onto this position. Going to get a little bit of damage done as Eric just groups his villagers up and says, get out of here. The Centaur moving forward as well. The Odysseus on the way here. Try and clean up those Promethean offspring for free. Can he manage to do it? Nope, not going to be going for that one. As the Eric Jason, still getting a little bit of damage done over here. Silver Law on the way here for Eric as well. As the Valor gets dropped, 2 hero Mamilo here. And generally speaking, one of these is going to get bolted. So it's just going to be the 1 hero Mamilo, 1 hero Terma. As Eric now starts to move forward, he's going to be dropping down the stable as well here. So a stable first for Eric, not going in with the hoplites here straight away. Instead, opting for the Hippocon. An interesting start. That's going to allow him to try and take out those hero Terma, but the hero Mamilo are going to be a little bit more of a trouble, a little bit more of a problem. As it looks like, look at the population difference. This is kind of how this game opens up a lot of the time against those Centaur. Part of me always feels like if it's just going to be Centaur and heroes early, would it not be better to build like 1 military barracks and just build nothing but heroes out for a little bit? I don't know if that's been tried before, if it's crazy or if it's bad or if it's good or not. Idea being that heroes don't... Citizen almost getting taken out. The Citizen gets taken out. That never happens. That's such a huge play there. For Eric there in the early game, as my brain just coming back to reality there, he snipes a Citizen. He's going to be able to pull back. That's a huge dip in early game economy there for Eric. Huge dip in economy there for Tigerboss, I should say. Huge play for Eric. He's now got 3 Centaur. And he's going to be searching around trying to take Citizen out left, right, and center. And we'll see how it goes. But Centaur now searching in. He can start sniping Murmillo here if he so chooses. Got to be a little bit careful, though, with that, as the villagers on this position do snipe down those Promethean offspring. He's going to be eating these Gazelle over on this position as well. As Eric playing very safe with his heroes, pulling back here. He does send the Centaur in to snipe a Terma. Takes a little bit of damage. No, he doesn't actually take that much damage. This is exactly what you want to do with these Centaur. Basically move in, snipe a unit, move away, snipe a unit, and just continue and continue. And you have to basically force the Oranos player to start saying, all right, I'm sick of this. Let me start attacking you. As the Valor coming down yet again. And that's going to probably give Tigerboss the incentive to start leaving his base now. As we do see the shockwave coming in onto that position, surrounding a Centaur. Does manage to snipe one of them. And Eric going to have to retreat away. Nice attack from Tigerboss thus far. As Eric here, he's macroing pretty good at this point. 61 population. He hasn't really been housed here in this game. He's still controlling those Centaur as best as he can. Sitting in the middle of the map with these units. Can he take this fight is the big question here. As the hero Mamilo retreating back over here. The Centaur for Eric going to be joining in the fight as well. Tigerboss says, don't want to take this fight just yet, as the Centaur sneaking through on this position. Got to be careful with them as Tigerboss gets a little bit close. Doesn't quite manage to get the attacks down, though, as a lot of those arrows do end up missing. The Centaur sitting at such high HP at this point. As Tigerboss going to be retreating back home here as best as he can. The hero Mamilo going to be searching around the map now for Centaur kills. And Eric, I know it's easier said than done, but you have to take the Centaur out of the control group of your normal military units. They need to be in a separate control group, and you kind of need to just continue moving in and getting snipes here. Otherwise, look at the population difference is just huge, and he does manage to come in there. He manages to snipe a unit, pulls back, gets away from those Murmillo nicely. 1 kill, no damage taken. That's perfect. Need to see more of that from Eric if he wants to continue having success in this game. The Centaur are now going to be searching for some villager kills here in the main base. This Citizen is very far away from a garrison source here. We do see that the Citizen going to be getting garrison nice and fast here as the Hoplight's getting a nice attack in here, but Eric does decide he needs to retreat back as Tigerboss comes through. Eric's Centaur, they have idled a Citizen and a handful of Murmillo here, but that's about it. As Eric's now main base is going to be under attack. As Eric retreats back, he's just trying to get up to full population. He's got a lot of decent amounts of production. He's actually cut the Hippocon training there as well. He's only made a handful of Hippocon to try and take out those Hero Terma, and there's only one of them there, so we realize he doesn't really need them. As the hoplites are going to come through nicely, we do see a shockwave coming through. One centaur yet again getting taken down. One centaur for a shockwave. That's a good trade, in all honesty, for Eric. As the centaur coming through, picking off a couple of units here as the village is pulling away from this location. Bit of a misclick there from Eric onto the wood line, though. He might decide to drop a storehouse or something there. I'm not sure. As the centaur returning onto this position, trying to get back into the army here of Eric. Eric's at 95 pop. Tigerboss is at 118 pop as he's managed to push above that with his valors here. So we do see the centaur now under attack as those hoplites have got a lot of units here that need to be taken out. And Eric just calmly says, you know what? I can ceasefire here. Eric's getting his centaur mass together. He's gotten a decent amount of damage done onto some of those heroes, and he should be able to continue here nicely. But now that ceasefire is gone, Tigerboss can start thinking about things like the heroic age, the mythic age himself. Generally speaking, this is a one town center matchup. If the Zeus player goes for centaur, it's generally speaking a one town center matchup, and Tigerboss knows that. He's a 12 citizen, which is significantly far behind. Not significantly, he's a little bit behind the villager count or the income of what Eric has here. That being said, Eric is putting 3 villagers on favor, which is not the most, it's not efficient, but the most efficient villager is the first one. That everyone after it goes on to it is a little bit worse. So you have to take that into consideration a little bit. As now Eric pushing forward. He's got himself that medium hoplites. And we do indeed see that Hyperion is the god of choice here for Tigerboss in this game. As another citizen getting sniped. That's huge considering that Tigerboss is on one town center. You cannot be losing citizen in this matchup. One centaur going down. The hoplites trying to path block the hero Mamillo here. They're doing a really, really good job as the centaur retreating back. And we do see that Eric is deciding to pull away for the time being here as he's getting a little bit too much path blockage action here. As the centaur just taking too much damage from those hero Mamillo, and Eric has to come all the way back home. As Tigerboss, nice play here. He's able to push forward. The centaur leave the army here. The army going to be turning around, taking this fight. You basically can't bring the centaur back into this one, or chaos will get dropped down. And can this medium hoplite army come through and make this work? The centaur comes through, and that's an opportunity to drop chaos here if he so chooses. And he does manage to do that. Takes out one of those centaurs. These centaurs still roaming around. The centaur can now start coming back in onto this fight here as the citizen moving in onto the zebra. Can Eric win this fight after all is said and done? As Tigerboss is at full population here. Eric's dropping down to 86 population after all is said and done. The hero Mamillo going to be able to take down those hoplites here as well as the centaur getting taken down. The army of Eric retreats, having to retreat back even more now as the gold mine is 700 gold from being expired. The Oracle's checking out the majority of those gold mines as well here. And do we see any attempt at maybe making something other than Mamillo? There are Arcus queued up. Is there still Terma being made? No Terma being made, but no attempt at Pontarius here. As another shockwave coming in, he's going to be able to trap those centaur nicely here. Picks off one, picks off half of another one. Nice play where that's concerned. As Eric is struggling now to continue in this game. He's got to make some really nice raids with those centaur to come back here or figure this one out, figure out how he's going to get a gold mine. After all is said and done, he's still making the hoplites. He's made his farms in his main base here, trying to get as much food as he possibly can here. One thing that he might want to consider is a granary on these positions, or utilizing the granaries in his main base for a farming in a way to get a slight amount more food income, which is every little bit matters. There's a Mamillo pushing forward. The villagers getting pulled off of the wood here. Is still more centaur coming through for Eric as he's desperately trying to get an army together to fight this army that Tigerboss has made. But Tigerboss at this point, if you haven't noticed, he's been basically sitting at 12 citizen for the past age, for a very long time. Tigerboss is going for a very all-in play here. Mostly army. He's getting up this palace over here, but the hoplites have spotted it. As the citizen do manage to get the palace up, but it will get torn down very fast by those Zeus hoplites here as the army in the main base here for Tigerboss trying to take out these units, but he's not really getting any value for it. And that's a huge play there from Eric. Because he managed to take down the palace. He's also taking down a hoplite, and he'll be able to take down the satyr. The satyr will get a good amount of value out of it by taking out these hoplites, but it'll go down nonetheless. As the main base under attack here for Eric. Eric needs to get himself watchtowers. Why is he getting watchtowers here? It'll be huge help for the defense after all is said and done. His villagers is going to start getting taken down. The centaur still getting chased around by those Hero Mamilo. As the hoplites have managed to push Tigerboss back here. 4 citizen being idle is Tigerboss's citizens count is only now starting to climb up again. As the gold has expired, the villagers are going to be making their way over onto this gold mine. And now this is where things get very, very dangerous for Eric. He can put a whole bunch more buildings down, maybe get some Toxotes out or something like that. Wouldn't be a bad idea to defend his gold mine. Apologies for my sniffles. I've got allergies or something. As the hoplites retreating back in onto this position. The army coming down to hit the villagers over here. This is going to be a big, big raid as those centaur in hot pursuit. But the Terma here going to get some damage done. The hero's Terma here is a big deal. Nice micro there from Eric to pull back, but he does lose a couple of villagers as the hoplites coming back in to defend. The hoplites defending over here as well as Tigerboss's army getting kind of split up. Nice play here nice defense here from Eric as he's doing a nice job here. More farms coming down. Still no granaries up. I definitely think that you got to be a little bit more active on the granary placement if you're on one town center farming. On plow, every little bit helps. As the palace now coming down here for Tigerboss as well on this position. He definitely wants those destroyers out, but I'm not sure why. He doesn't need them. It's mass hoplites here. I think that even Cairo Ballister wouldn't be a bad idea at this point, but the centaur going for some citizen kills. Nice garrison micro from Tigerboss. There's 2 citizen fall for that raid there. Meanwhile, the hoplites still getting good trades over here. Eric's got this gold mine. He's got to be feeling good about that. More farms coming down in the main base. Look at all the farms he's got here. 16, 20, 21 farms already. Lots of wood in the bank, though. Eric might be considering a town center here, but I do think if he does decide to go for the town center, might be a little bit too slow because I imagine Tigerboss here is going to be going for the Mythic Age here. That's the town center going up. Town center goes up. Does mean a whole bunch more farms can come onto this position. As the hoplites retreating back. Potentially some more military buildings wouldn't go astray here for Eric. He does have 3 military academies at this point now. It's the army coming in over here. The Hero Mamilo coming in to try and take down those centaurs. They're just as very far away as now another Chaos able to come in and take out yet another centaur, but hits the low HP one. A little bit unfortunate there for Tigerboss. But Eric's just going to be retreating back, trying to make this work. Heavy infantry coming through for Tigerboss at this point. As the raids coming back over here, just 1 or 2 units hitting this would be a good idea. Tigerboss just cannot make his way through this army here just yet. The centaur getting some good damage done, but we'll see how it's all going to go. So Jason coming through to try and take out the Promethean on this position. The hoplites getting some really good damage done here as well. As the Promethean getting pulled back for the time being here. Let's see how it's going to work. I'm not sure that Tigerboss has got the oomph left. His economy is much, much weaker than it would normally be. These destroyers, while normally they're a great unit, against mass hoplites, they're not going to be able to do all too much. But they are, the Heavy Murmillo are going to be giving an advantage to Tigerboss to some degree. But these destroyers are just kind of not going to be able to do anything. I'm surprised to see him making them at this point. We'll see how it's going to go. Eric's population is still sitting fairly strong at 116 population. He's still got a ton of wood in the bank that he could definitely be thinking about. I mean, he could get a 3rd town center if he really wants to, but definitely more farms coming up wouldn't go astray. He's still building farms as the villagers are popping out of this town center, but he needs more farms up. I mean, he's got a couple of villages you can send over here to drop farms on that town center and things like that. Husbandry now coming in. That's why his economy is a little bit struggling. No husbandry here. That's going to boost those. That's not only going to boost the farming gather rate, but it's also going to boost these long farming units here as well. As Eric is still trying to garrison those villages to get a little bit more villagers popping out. As the villagers coming over here to drop some farms down. Now the army of Tigerboss going to push in to try and attack this gold mine as walls are starting to come up. A little bit late from Eric to get these walls up here. As the hoplites are going for something very, very cheeky. He's not going to be defending himself. He's going to get pushed off this gold mine, but he's got lots of gold in the bank, so it's not that big of a deal. But the hoplites are going for the town center kill, and that means that there's going to be no ability here for a mythic age to come through. And it's one town center here as well. It's no upgrades on it either, as the army of Tigerboss is completely caught out of position. Eric just retreats away from the gold as well. And the town center here is getting absolutely decimated by those 18 hoplites. This play here from Eric is absolutely huge. As the citizen pushing in to try and repair that one up, they're going to get taken out here as well. The army coming back in. We do see the units here of Eric engaging the fight early as well. And Tigerboss is in an absolutely terrifying position now. Watchtowers coming through. The hoplites might have to leave the main base. Going to be taking out that market as well. He could also take out those farms if he really wanted to. That'd be a nice way to get even more damage done onto the Atlantean economy here. As the market gets cleaned up, the hoplites are just going to be retreating out. He does pop those citizens out of this position. Can he just... It's probably worth it to just sacrifice the hoplites and try and take those citizens out, but not going to be happening there. As the hoplites retreat back, units coming over onto this position as the hoplites are going to try and defend there as well. A third town center is going to be coming up as Eric realizes picking off that town center means no mythic age can come. No kind of timing attack is going to be able to hit him for a very, very long time here. So that effectively means that Eric can get the third town center and continue to push his advantage here in this game. As Eric has kind of worked out, all he needs is hoplites. Tigerboss is refusing to kind of get an army here that beats mass hoplites. As he's pushed through and Tigerboss retreats back. Those hoplites coming back in onto this fight here. We do see the centaur found a citizen there trying to take that one out. But 145 population here for Eric. We do see the town center is back up over here. Eric could definitely take these fights, continue along. He's got the town center up here as well. There's just so many farms here for Eric because he's only building hoplites. He's now starting to get some stables out to try and take out those little bits of Arcus on the back here. I like to play just a handful of Hippocon to mix in to jump onto those Arcus on the back here. Not a bad play. One other thing that Eric could start thinking about doing is getting himself some armory upgrades here as well. Tigerboss here just about to be able to advance to the next age. So those centaur get pulled back nicely. That micro is continuing to be really, really good here by Eric. As the Arcus getting taken down on that position. The hoplites doing some decent damage here as well. As Tigerboss going to have to retreat back for the time being. And Tigerboss in that moment here does tap out. That's an incredibly well played game by Eric. There was this moment here where I thought Tigerboss was going to get a gold starve, but I don't know. What happened? He lost his palace yet. Building a palace didn't make any sense. The idea of the palace is to make destroyers. Destroyers are really good if your opponent is making Toxotes. There's no Toxotes being made here by Eric. The answer to mass hoplites for Oranos has to be utilize your economy to get yourself some tech advantage here. Get yourself heavy infantry. Get yourself bronze mail, copper weapons, those type of upgrades to keep fighting here. If you don't do that, then and you're building destroyers, the destroyers are doing 6 damage a second in these fights versus the hoplites, which are doing 8.8 damage a second. They've got more hack armor by a little bit. Obviously, the destroyers have got 30% hack armor, 187 HP. They've got a lot of HP, but they're not doing any damage. And Eric is able to just continue pushing himself further and further in this game, and Tigerboss just could not hit his Mythic Age timing at all. Incredibly well played by Eric. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.